Good afternoon and welcome back, viewers. We're going to look at more results coming in, obviously, and then we have got two of our colleagues on standby in Rehoboth as well as in Omothia, who will speak to us on their views in regard to the election process. And then we have got two guests as well, Professor Nico Horn from UNAM, as well as Kavihoya Mahugura, I hope I pronounced his name right, for this session. So getting into it, let's have a look at the Windhoek East constituency, in which SWAPO has dominated the votes. Maybe Jemima, you'd like to take us through just some of the, the percentages.
We can, let's go to the Windhoek East, Limba.
Yeah.
In the Windhoek East, the IPC, in fact, has taken the lead there. The candidate, Brian Black, has won with 3,715 votes. SWAPO came with 1,615, pardon me. The third runner-up there is PDM, but at the end of the day, Brian Black is now the Windhoek East regional councillor. We can also go to, let's go to the Kavango East. Let's have a look there, Limba. What do you think of?
I should actually be asking you this, Jemima. You're looking at the stats that are coming in from the Kavango East, obviously. Let's just look at Rundu Rural, for instance. Look at Ndonga. Oh, no votes there. Let's try something else. Mashare.
Okay. Let's go. SWAPO's done relatively well in the Kavango, both the Kavango East and the Kavango West regions. Not as well as they, they didn't do as well as they did in the Kavango East as they did in the Walvis Bay areas, where the IPC also won. When the IPC won, we see Knowledge Apinge conceding his victory from last year. I'm struck.
Just a slow movement on the tablet.
So we're going to the Kavango East there.
Okay, obviously, like Jemima, while we wait for that to come through, if you look at the Kavango East region, there are a lot of impoverished people coming out of that region. But when you look at the votes that are coming in, SWAPO still dominates. When you look at the voting pattern of these people, Jemima, what would your views be in regards to why they still continue to vote for a party which has over the years promised them, improved services but hasn't been delivering on those?
Yes, it is quite an interesting shift there. I mean, you see in Walvis Bay where corruption, where the fish rod scandal played a huge role, people really voted for change, but we don't see that same shift in the Kavango region taking place. Even in the Zambezi region that had a standoff with the president recently over the shootings of the 4 fishermen, we saw significant changes. We saw independent candidates standing for positions, and they took it from SWAPO. So next up we'll go to Swakopmund and Walvis Bay and Corrigas, and look at those
let's just look at those results.
The slides. So even Swakopmund, the IPC took, the SWAPO took a significant beating there. Limba, can you see it got 3,458 votes. SWAPO came in second narrowly with 2,745 votes. Walvis, once again, also like Swakopmund, like Walvis Bay, it's gone to the IPC. SWAPO loyalty has not played off this time around. And an interesting one is the Corrigas. UDF has also played, can you see the UDF one? Yeah, UDF has 985 votes, much more than SWAPO at 624. And that seat has also gone back to the UDF, which had this Corrigas seat in the past and has now taken it back from SWAPO. So SWAPO really gave away lots of political power in these areas, in these local authorities like Swakopmund, Walvis Bay and Corrigas. But it has regained significant support in other regional councils like what you will see next up.
Yeah. Let's look at those slides.
Like Okongo, Kongola, even Namingus constituency, regional council, SWAPO has taken, you see SWAPO has 3,103 votes there. The PDM has 0 votes there. A number so we'll go and we'll see a number. SWAPO has regained, like I've said, significantly. So next up we'll have some videos.
Joseph, Landless People's Movement, 3016. I repeat, 3016. Isaacs Willem Josephat, Independent Patriot for Change, 243. I repeat, 243. Matthijs Innocent, Reconciler, Popular Democratic Movement, 216. I repeat, 216. I furthermore preliminary declare that Isaacs Joseph has been declared duly elected. I thank you.
Yes, of course. Now, now we cross over to our correspondent Ogedo Greg, who is in Rehoboth, to just speak to us a little bit about the outcome of the election process. Hi, Ogedo. Hello, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear him, Jemima?
Yes, I can, Ogedo. Which center are you now, and what's happening there?
I'm at Hermanus van Wyk Memorial Hall here in Rehoboth. It's the main coalition center for the urban vote. And a few moments, the results were finally, after a long delay, during which some of the ballots were rented. There's a lot of during those hours, but the tension dissipated as well, along with the crowds, as soon as the results were by the ECN officials. The SWAPO supporters were very happy to find out that their candidate, Mr. Edward Bambu, will continue on representing the Rebos Urban East constituency, adding to his 15-year-long reign with another 5 years. And in terms of the new town council, it is made up of Amanda Groenewald for LPM, Lelani Uiras for LPM, Jackie Kariseb for SWAPO, Maria Beukes for SWAPO, Rudy van Wyk for RITMA, as well as Anna Hammerslag for RITMA, and Justin Couture, who represents PM. So the announcement was made of who the winners were. The SWAPO supporters got in their bakkies and went down the street, and perhaps if you can see behind me, that parking lot there's still a gathered LPM supporters, but generally the venue has been emptied out. It's just ECN officials who are still waiting, cleaning up, finishing up their duties, and they're all eager to go home, having put in many hard hours to get this result done.
Now, Geto, what is the feeling on the ground? What are people saying about these results so far? Community members. Can you hear us, Ogeto? Looks like we've lost Ogeto. Are you there, Ogeto? So let's have an ad break then.
Members,
Mevrou Jemima.
Are you there, Ogeto?
Hey, so I'm practicing.
Jemima,
with my dad.
wait for me.
He doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and a whole day, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now I don't miss any tutorials, and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Leap into limitless flexibility and convenience with the new and improved Paratus Client Portal. With just a few clicks, you can have personal control over your account and data packages through self-service solutions. You can top up data from anywhere, anytime, monitor your data usage, check your data and account balance, download your invoices, initiate support tickets, and much more. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Good afternoon, welcome back. As we're trying to analyze the preliminary results of yesterday's elections, we are speaking to political commentator, Professor Nico Hahn. Thank you for joining us, Prof.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Prof, you have seen some of the results. What do you make of what you've seen so far?
Well, we've just heard the official results, which is more in the north. I thought, the disappointment is possibly the IPC, which didn't do well. They got 21% of the official votes now, compared to SWAPO's 52%. And you know, even that 21 is not a good representation of where they are, because if you don't win, you don't get a seat, and they were most of the time second. Now, and the unofficial results, of course, they're doing much better, as we know now from Walvis Bay, Swakopmund, and also Windhoek East. So there is a kind of a new expectation in Namibia. You know, the days of a one-party state seems to be over. SWAPO still did very well in the north, as we expected, and the new parties didn't do as good there. But when the further south you go, the more differentiation there is. The expectation is that in the deep south, the LPM will really do good, you know. So there's a total change in the political makeup of Namibia developing in our eyes at the moment. The old idea of one big party and several very small insignificant parties seems to be over. As I said, the independent patriots did very well in the north. They got 21 seats, unfortunately not very located, you know, very mixed. But in the south, as we know already, they won Windhoek East, they did well in the coast, Swakopmund, Walvis Bay. So they may still have a few surprises for us. And of course, everybody's waiting to see what happened in the south with the LPM.
Now, speaking about surprises, the local authority elections and the regional council elections was not taken this seriously in the previous year as it was taken this year.
Not nearly as serious. You know, I was saying that to a friend of mine in the United States who used to live here, I said, well, if you want to have a feeling of the experience before the election, think of the independence elections. I mean, not so big, but really in the past, local government, regional elections was just something that we do if we need to do it. You know, this time there was a, you know, in the south it was almost like a national election if you follow them. Same with the rallies that Dr. Itulo and his party conducted all over the country, and even AR, although they were more silent than what I expected, they were still a very vocal party in terms of the past. SWAPO did more rallies than what they did in several other elections before this. And the main reason, of course, is that there are really a contest for seats at the moment, which is, I mean, at the heart of a democracy.
Now, Prof, speaking about issues, now corruption has always been amongst us. We've always had this issue of corruption starting with the social security, and we haven't seen any of this kind of political shifts taking place. What's the difference this time around? Well,
I think one thing is that fish rot was kind of a historic moment. You know, all of a sudden everybody's eyes were on the government, which was not the case in the past. You know, we trusted our government. This time around, it's two ministers, and it changed the whole scenery. You know, so in the case of the new parties, the new kids on the block, especially LPM and the independent patriots, they were very strong on this issue that the country must rid itself of the corruption that's going on, and it became a election point, you know, which, if we look at the preliminary results, had or they found the ear of the electorate in their approach.
Now, Prof, the young people are continuously saying they're not going to the polls because they don't see anyone standing for the ideals that they are looking for. What should be done to address this issue?
Well, perhaps some young people. You know, we've seen in the some other elections, even in our region, but also in other countries, that it's no more a surprise to have a 25-year-old to be in parliament, you know, even a guy 21 years old. Now, when I was young in the old apartheid system, there was once a lady, she studied with me actually, and she went to parliament at the age of 21. You know, so the whole idea that parliament is for the aged people should be changing now, especially if you think of LPM. I mean, all their their members that will go to the regional council and so on. They are all very young people, you know, and I mean, they proved that they can win the votes with a very young group of candidates. So that will possibly change the independent patriots as well. They have a few very young candidates. And you know, I think the problem with SWAPO was that they started with young people. I mean, President Geinkop was really young to be a prime minister at that stage. But as the politicians aged, no young people came in, or very few of them came in, you know, and they lost people as well, like good leaders like the Omopandas and so on. So I think this is a wake-up call also for the ruling party that, you know, the people, the voters want young people. And if the young people start voting, it will be even worse for the older parties, because they, I mean, they make up the majority. The under 40s is the majority of our voters in this country. It's just that they don't go to the polls as they should, but they have the power to do it and make huge changes in our whole approach to politics.
Now, Prof, in Walvis Bay in particular, that has been hit by the fish rod largely affected by the fish rod bribery scandal, people have changed, significantly changed their voting pattern in pursuit of services. Yet we don't see the same thing happening in the Kavango regions, where people have for years said they were sidelined by the ruling government, for years said they have not received the services. What does this say about our political system?
I think it's also a matter of tradition, you know. The Kavango East are very traditional communities, you know, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a sociologist, but I do think that the fact that, you know, the chiefs are older men and you don't get a position, you don't really get recognition if you're not, I mean, at least 40 or 50 years old, that still rings a bell in the Kavango and also in some areas in the north. But definitely no longer in the south, as we see. And I mean, a pattern that starts somewhere and grips the attention of the voter population, that will surely grow. You know, I mean, we have it now definitely with the landless people's movement, but also a little bit in the case of the new kid, the other new kid on the block, and that is the patriots, the independent patriots for change. They also have, not as young as the LPM, but reasonably young people, early 40s, late 30s. Businessmen who are there, made their mark, but not the old people with beards and you know, with a long history. So I think this will be a changing moment in the voting patterns of the Namibians. You know, they will no longer be afraid of voting for younger people, and it all depends now of how it will change the South, for example, with all the representatives of the landless people's movement, also the places like Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, where we all of a sudden have young blood, younger people who will run the show. I mean, this is an election like we haven't experienced in Namibia before. You know, it's not, you know, the best that we could do with this was the last election, when there was an attempt to get SWAPO beyond 2/3 majority. But now it's a total different ball game. You know, the constituencies that were SWAPO's from the beginning have now been taken over by young politicians, new parties, yeah. I mean, the difference between the last elections, of all our elections since independence, and the next general election, is that the opposition parties will no longer be manned by young, inexperienced people. It will be people who came from a development, a history where they won an election and where they became officials, you know, elected officials. So this is more important than just the regional and local government elections this time around. It creates a new system, a new way of thinking, and possibly new systems of election.
Thank you very much for joining us and giving us your insight, Prof.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in. Next up is an ad break.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Leap into limitless flexibility and convenience with the new and improved Paratus Client Portal. With just a few clicks, you can have personal control over your account and data packages through self-service solutions. You can top up data from anywhere, anytime, monitor your data usage, check your data and account balance, download your invoices, initiate support tickets, and much more. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much, Jemima, for that interview. Quite, you know, thought-provoking statements coming there from the professor. Now, let's just look on the slide, and the Karasburg East, we have 6,553 registered voters. All right, we have 43.7 turnout percentage. Now, if you look at the results that are coming in, you have SWAPO, who has, which has 692 votes. Obviously, LPM leading there with 1,280 votes. Then you find IPC as well with 675 votes. Now, Jemima, just looking at the Karas region and Bernardus Swartboe, a lot of people in the south see Bernardus as their prodigal son. You see the way he speaks to the people when he speaks to them. He tries to restore their dignity by the way he speaks to them. What do you think Bernardus did very well in this election? You know, to trying, obviously capturing the voters, the numbers. What did he do right that the other political parties didn't do?
Like you've said, the people of the south, especially Keetmans, where he is from, see him as the prodigal son. When Bernardus was governor in the south, I worked there. And you know what he did? And I think that is the time that he already started winning the hearts of people. He when he started as governor, he called the community. He called the colored people, he called the white people, he called the rest of the community, and he spoke to them. He told the white farmers, I do not want to take your farms, I want to have a dialogue with you. He told the colored people, I know you as a community feel sidelined, let's have a dialogue. And I think already then he has made this connection with that community. And even when he left SWAPO, and even the way he left SWAPO because of land and restitution and what he calls restore. He wanted to restore the people's dignity. And this connection with the community, I think, has continued. So when he stood as by himself, people believe that now he's a man of his own, and perhaps he stands a chance of restoring the dignity. And I believe that is still the feeling in the in that community in particular. Obviously, in Marienthal, I think he was seen as a next best thing, rather than SWAPO, because SWAPO has been tainted by the corruption scandal of former governor of the Hardap region, Katrina Hansa Himarwa. So that has tainted the ruling party, and I think the community saw obviously LPM and Bernardo as the other option. And it is interesting to see that in Lüderitz, but it played out the same way in the presidential elections last year, that the coastal towns like Lüderitz,
of course,
Oranjemund, and even Rospina largely voted for Itula, Dr. Pantolenu Itula, when he stood as a presidential independent candidate. And it is interesting to see that this kind of, he has kept this momentum and the connection with the people, and they voted for his party, because that was the fear that very many people had.
Of course, Jemima.
That people may not necessarily vote for him as a party once he leaves SWAPO. So that's really an interesting outcome there.
So if you look at the moment in the coast with IPC also having taken control, Itula just the same way as SWAPO, the activism that they are using, I think SWAPO at some point has lost that, you know, the bond with the people. They don't nourish, you know, the needs of the people. So what do you think SWAPO at the moment needs to do, if ever they need to, you know, try and regain the trust of the citizens?
You know, speaking about that bond with the community, grassroots politics in especially Africa, and I think that has set Africa apart from the Americas. Politicians used to go to the community. They would sit down in the communities. You can see it with Ian Kama. He goes into the people's homesteads. He sits with them. He eats with them. He has conversations with them. And SWAPO has unfortunately lost that. You do not really see, the closest that you see people connecting on that level is the president dancing. But that is usually at rallies. And I think that is, if SWAPO wants to return to its former glory, it has to reconnect with the people. At this point, people feel that they have lost that connection with a party that has liberated them. And even the style, Bernardo's style, door-to-door engagement. When you find Bernardo's at the rally, he studies the community. If he senses that you speak Afrikaans, he speaks to you in that Afrikaans that you speak. If you speak English, he speaks to you in that English that you speak. If you speak Nama, he speaks to you in that Nama. I have seen him greeting people in Ovambo, and that's what he does. And immediately, that's what people sense, that this is a form of respect. If you come down to my level, you are respecting where I come from. And the same with Itula. Itula, people make fun of him running around.
Of course.
But he goes to the level of people. Like he said himself, he sits with the people.
Yeah.
He has engaged with them, how they suffer.
You know, remember prior to this session, we had a conversation where we were talking about the Kavango region. I know we have mentioned that already, but we were speaking about the Kavango region and why people continue to vote for SWAPO, you know, why they have a strong hold in that region. And one of the things that you mentioned was the fact that back in the day, people couldn't walk from one area to the next. And now, because of the liberation that SWAPO brought them, they can do that. Is that the loyalty that people are still voting on?
That is largely, I believe, the loyalty that is still keeping SWAPO in power in many of the rural areas. SWAPO has given them even in the south, there are pockets where people were subjected to brutal oppression during the apartheid regime. You'll find some of those old elderly, even with Bernardus on the scene, they would still go and vote for SWAPO because they are so afraid of returning to that apartheid regime. And that is unfortunately the mentality that reigns supreme in the northern parts of the country, especially Kavango East and the 4 regions. It will take a very long time for this mentality to be shifted, because even the young people, they still see SWAPO as a political home. So even this must be broken through, and I think IPC will play a major role in breaking through this mentality, because IPC is appealing to especially young professionals, the working class. So I think he will eventually start with this new transformation. Largely, the IPC will play that role.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jemima, for those views. Now we'll go and just look at some footage of what is happening and what has been happening in the process of this election.
May I say, Councillor Smith, incoming Councillor Smith, how do you feel about the results? Did you expect it, and how do you see the way forward?
We did expect the result. I didn't think it was going to be such a big result, just basically because I don't like getting excited beforehand, because then one tends to not work as hard. So we did expect this result, and I think it was a very, very well executed election, and I want to say thank you to the ECN and all the officials and all of our agents and all the parties that came together for it, and it was really phenomenal experience for me. The people of Swakopmund have definitely spoken. This is a true result of what's going on and what we've been experiencing in the region, and like the people say, they're tired and they want change, and I think that is why they chose to go with IPC and to elect me as regional councillor. The way forward is going to be a very hard work, because there's a lot of things that we need to change and we need to fix. The people need better housing, they need sanitation, they need electricity, they need water. Those are our first priorities that we're going to be focusing on, and it's a long road ahead, but I think it's going to be a very, very exciting time for Swakopmund.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Congrats. Huh?
Thanks.
We'll start with the council results. First, announcement of results in Junior Council elections. I, Evangeline Murandi, the returning officer of the Oganda constituency in the Oshabuka region, having preliminary determined the result of the election of that constituency in accordance with the provisions of the Act and Article 106, Section 2 and 3 of the Namibian Constitution, hereby make known that 5212 votes have been counted. 5212 votes have been counted, and that the votes counted have been recorded for Oganda constituency. Full names of candidates: Ambada Christian, name of political party, Independent Patriots for Change, votes recorded 1057. Ambada Christian for IPC 1057. Darwis Belinda, UDF, United Democratic Front of Namibia 599. Belinda Darwis, United Democratic Front of Namibia 599. Dasa Johannes Werner, Independent Candidate 310. Dasa Johannes Werner, Independent Candidate 310. Muyoroshite, Endless People's Movement 332. Muyoroshite, Endless People's Movement 332. Shimoshili Paulus Shetunyenga, Independent Candidate 113. Shimoshili Paulus Shetunyenga Independent candidate 113, Shabionja Bethel, Swako Party of Namibia 2451, Shabionja Bethel, Swako Party of Namibia 2451, and Beiko Bala, Popular Democratic Movement 350, and Beiko Bala, Popular Democratic Movement 350. I furthermore preliminary declare that Shabionja Bethel has been declared duly elected.
My naam is Harold Kambroeri en ek wil net sê dat ek is 100% oortuig dat hierdie verkiesing baie goeie gees beklei was, beklei in sagte sin natuurlik nou, behalwe vir een of twee glitches hier en daar, maar oor die algemeen niemand het met niemand regtig regop gestaan nie en die enigste wat ons nou sterk het is ons is nou hier by die in die Rehoboth Oos Constituency by die stadsaal waar die verification gedoen word en dit lyk of daar 'n paar discrepancies is, maar hoe dit ook al sê, die partye praat met mekaar en ons kyk daarna dat ons dit oplos. Daar is nou van die stempunte se uitslae wat geverifieer word en dan natuurlik oorgetel word soos wat die wette toelaat. Ons is klaar met Rehoboth Stedelik Wes, waar ek ook wil dankie sê vir my span wat saam met my was. Ek was die kandidaat van die LPM, ons het bo uitgekom. Ek is toe verkies as die nuwe streeksraadslid vir die Rehoboth Urban West Constituency. Ek wil ook vir my opponente sê baie dankie vir die goeie gees waarin ons hierdie stryd gevoer het en dat niemand van ons permanente skade sal oorhou nie. En ek wens en dis my hoop dat ons verkiesings vorentoe in ons land op hierdie trant sal hou. Ja, baie dankie ook Ette.
We are here with Mr. Ronnie Kauzu, the returning officer. So how did the elections, the voting, everything go?
So far, I can declare that it really went very smoothly, even though a process like this is quite cumbersome and one wouldn't really expect for it to run without flaws here and there, but it was not really out of hand. It was flaws that we could really contain. So coming to the counting really went very smoothly, and I can say all results are really announced, and most stakeholders are happy about the outcome. I think that's all I can say.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm practicing to meet my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Yes, with that we'll cross over to Chioma Hitula, who is in the north, to just take us through what has been happening there. Hello, Tiomo.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Limpa.
How are you?
Good afternoon, Jemima. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Very good. Tiomo, tell us, where are you right now? Where do you find yourself?
Right now, I am at Omthia Community Youth Center. I've just come to collect the preliminary results from this side and to see what is going on and what is the feel or the vibe that people are feeling after the elections.
Of course, of course. So just tell us a little bit your view on the electoral process, just your views. Just share some. How did it start for you, the election process, and the in-betweens, as well as the, the end result, with you waiting for the results now?
Yeah. Honestly speaking, I think the election process started off quite well. The polling stations that I've been to or that I've visited quite a number, but this is in Ohangwena region because I started in Enana and then I visited quite a few in Enana constituency and then I proceeded to Okongo, also visited quite a few there. The election process went quite well. It went smooth. If I could perhaps compare it to the last elections that we had, which we used the EVMs, I would say this one went much better because there were no hiccups. There were no technical hiccups, if I can put it like that.
Okay, so it's
Now,
safe to say that the element of quality assurance with the ballot paper system was much, much better than the electronic one.
I would say that, yes, definitely, because we didn't have a break into, the polling stations didn't have to break because of technical issues. They kept going.
Tuyemo, I see the street behind you is relatively quiet. You said earlier you went to see what the feel and emotion is on the street. So what is the feel and emotion there in Omthia?
I haven't gotten a chance to speak to the people yet. I've just arrived about 10 minutes ago. So I came straight here at the community center to get the results first. And I've driven around town before I got here, but it's very, very quiet. It's relatively quiet and everyone is going about their day-to-day activities.
Is it the same than it was last year?
Last year I was not in Omthia. But compared to the areas that I've covered last year, it's definitely not the same. There is no election feel, that vibe, it's not existing this year. I don't know whether it's a difference in the fact that these are national council elections, or is it because the last year ones were presidential elections and these ones are the regional ones, but there is... The feel it's I don't know. Maybe they are waiting for the final results to be announced before people can start feeling like they are really confident in the results. Perhaps it's because the results are variant and we're not really sure on what the outcome will look like.
Okay. Yeah, Tiomo, we didn't get a chance to speak to you yesterday, but the numbers when it comes to the young people, coming out to vote, as well as the old people, how would you rate that? What is your thinking process on that?
For me, the numbers are quite disappointing. Today, when I went to collect the results from Oshakati West constituency and Oshakati East, we have the ruling party, which is SWAPO, leading in Oshakati West and Oshakati East by just over 200 votes. And if you look at the number of the people who live in these areas, they are way, 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 way more than that. Oshakati has so many residents. It's over 10,000 residents who reside in Oshakati. So to have 200 people going to the polling station, does this mean these are the only people who qualified? Does this mean these are the only people who thought they need to register and to go and vote? Does it mean the rest of the people did not register? Or does it mean people are simply not interested and they don't see an option for them. So the numbers are quite disappointing for me, if I may say.
Any questions from you, Jemima?
No, that would be all.
Thank you so much to Yemo. With that, we'll cross over to
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we'll take an ad break, and when we get back, Jemima will speak to Kavi Mahungura. I hope I again pronounced his name right. Yeah, so let us go into an ad break.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my... He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Leap into limitless flexibility and convenience with the new and improved Paratus Client Portal. With just a few clicks, you can have personal control over your account and data packages through self-service solutions. You can top up data from anywhere, anytime, monitor your data usage, check your data and account balance, download your invoices, initiate support tickets, and much more. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Good afternoon. Although this election seemed to have been taken much more seriously than it was in previous years, the voter turnout still remains a concern. Today we speak to unionist and trained teacher, Mr. Kaviwa Mahongara. He will speak to us about the role of the education system in raising awareness about voter responsibility. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So just before we get into it, what do you think of the preliminary results?
The preliminary results are looking very interesting because they shows that there is a serious paradigm shift from the way the people have to use to see politics and the performance of the newcomers, which is very, very, very promising. And I hope that this paradigm shift will enhance the questions of debate on both economic and social issues, because all along it has been situations where only one party talk and they bulldoze and whatsoever. That's why even in terms of the laws that were passed in Parliament, most of the laws that were passed after independence are very pathetic compared to it, because they just pass, after a few years they come back as an amendment, which shows that there was no proper debate and research on those kind of things. And we are very interesting. I mean, that the results now are very promising, and we hope that at least the country can have that debate on issues of concern.
So what do you think when it comes to voter turnout? What role should schools play in terms of civic education to teach young people about their responsibility to vote?
Yeah, I think that in the school curriculum, civic education did not feature so much, and it's one of the areas that we need to start giving emphasis to, because you see, if you go to many countries, you realize that the countries, they even respect their national symbols, but if you come to Namibia, they are more respectful to their political parties or whatsoever issues, not to the national. I mean, they are not so loyal to the national. I mean to the nationhood. And that is the element that we need to strengthen in schools. But currently now, the civic education is always receiving a secondary attention. And I think that we need to start changing so that we can motivate the kids. We can, in terms of owning the country. And by owning the country, then they will be active participants. They will also be citizens that are able to hold those that are in office accountable.
Now, how do you strike the balance in raising awareness about political activity in schools as not to influence young students?
The most important things, we should separate the political activities and political parties' activities. Politics about life. And if you have to offer civic education, you talk about politics, not political parties.
Yes.
So you need to open it up and make sure that the curriculum is balanced, does not talk to a specific political party. Of course, even if you go to textbooks now, many people are not having more interest in studying history, because the history that will be taught in schools is very skewed. And there's also no reflections of the truth. For those that have read the books, they understand it.
Now, moving away from civic education, let's look at the independent candidacy phenomenon. We are seeing it especially playing out in the Zambezi region. What do you think is bringing this about?
What's bringing this is the issues of the internal, political parties' democracy. I think that the rules that the political parties have put in place, it has been suffocating many people. You have people of caliber that have their community close to their heart, but because they are not playing active part in political parties' activities, they end up being sidelined. So I think that the issue here is that for the political parties to go back to basic and start looking at their internal rules and see whether they can start accommodating these competent peoples that are around over there in their various communities. But I'm sure, now the problem will be whether the political parties that we have currently are clear ideologically or not. From my observations, there's no political party that is clear in ideology nowadays. We don't know which political party is far right or middle or far left or whatsoever. We don't know what is happening. So that in itself also pushes the other people with specific ideas or ideologies that they want to follow away from the political parties. And that's how the independence candidates are emerging. And whether they will be, how they will account to their community, that's something that we also of a different day that we can debate around it.
Now, as a champion for the rights of workers, in particular teachers, what do you think? What is your view in terms of the draw cards that has brought people to the polling stations?
The most important thing is that how the political parties and especially ECN, how they have carried out their voter education. I think that the time that because of COVID-19 also, I think that they did not spend much time on civic education. The time was very limited. And also political parties also did not have enough time for them to infiltrate their grassroots. However, also on the side of NBC, I think that NBC need to start changing the way they are doing the coverage. I listened to Sunday's news. I mean, you saw it, the ruling party had three shows in the news. The meeting that was Oshiwarongo, Windhoek one, and the Prime Minister meeting or whatsoever, but all the other political parties were only given one slot. So I think that also should start balancing, because it even discouraged the people to watch those things, and if they are discouraged, also discouraged to take the notions of election serious.
Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kaviwa.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in. Next up is an ad break.
It's time to leap into limitless flexibility and convenience. To register on the new and improved client portal, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Click on Register next to Don't Have an Account. Click on Register Me with My to select your preferred registration option. Enter your personal details. Select your preferred contact method. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on Create Account. Complete your registration by entering the one-time PIN sent to your chosen contact method. You are now ready to take personal control of your account. To top up prepaid or postpaid data, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Log in with your username and password. Click on the service tab, select your data bundle option and click on the buy button. If you are a prepaid client, select your preferred payment method and follow the on-screen instructions. If you're a postpaid client, confirm your purchase by clicking on Pay with Account. The data bundle will be loaded to your account balance. Data bundles are valid for 30 days. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Yes, welcome back. So now we'll have a look at the Commerce Regional Election results per constituency, starting off with Topias Hanyeko, in which SWAPO obviously has a strong stronghold. So as you can see there were 36,530 registered voters with a turnout percentage of 23.9%. So now, looking at the votes, SWAPO has 4,724 votes in that constituency, with IPC having 2,831. PDM has 129, UDF nowhere to be seen, LPM has 397 votes, and so it continues. So as you can see there. So now let's have a look at the Moses Garweb constituency as well. Just a minute. As you can see, the SWAPO having 5,983 votes, IPC having 3,960 votes, and PDM sitting with 466 votes. So we can still continue and have a look at Commerce Dal, with SWAPO having 2,337 votes. IPC has 1,503 votes. LPM 1,285 votes. And let's have a look at the, we already had a look at the Katutura East. But these are just obvious stats, Jemima, and if you can talk about it, the tug of war between LPM, IPC, and SWAPO, and the rest being cul-de-sac there. So what are your views on this constituency?
Limba, I think the glaring issue here is voter apathy. You see, in Tobias and Nyeko, we had just over 36,000 voters registered. Yet just an average of 23% came out to cast their vote. The same trend continues in Moses Garweb, where we had just over 41%, and just 25% of voters turned up to cast their vote. The same in Commercedal, just over 26,000 voters registered, and just over 7,000 actually cast their vote. And it is worrying. It makes you wonder, why is it that people decide at the last minute they will not cast their vote? Do they feel there's no sense of accountability? Is it that they have lost faith in government or in the systems? These are the questions that's high up on the list. And yes, SWAPO has regained several seats there in this constituencies, but if you look at the registered voters, it's a concern.
Okay, yeah, and with that, let's just have a look at some of the photos which were taken on the ground as well.
The story of a handsome subscriber with a sister, a friend and a mom who were always needing airtime. Our hero didn't have a clue, so he wore from for quite a while. Then he remembered Taba from MTC. He dialed *682# and followed the prompts. That's my time. Choose a data bundle and enter a number for him, her, or any crew member. And now he's the hero. Thanks, bro. Tumba, tumba, gifting, tumba. Tumba, tumba, gifting, tumba. With tumba gifting, you everyone's hero.
Leap into limitless flexibility and convenience with the new and improved Paratus Client Portal. With just a few clicks, you can have personal control over your account and data packages through self-service solutions. You can top up data from anywhere, anytime, monitor your data usage, check your data and account balance, download your invoices, initiate support tickets, and much more. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
It's time to leap into limitless flexibility and convenience. To register on the new and improved client portal, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Click on register next to don't have an account. Click on register me with my to select your preferred registration option. Enter your personal details. Select your preferred contact method. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on create account. Complete your registration by entering the one-time PIN sent to your chosen contact method. You are now ready to take personal control of your account. To top up prepaid or postpaid data, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Log in with your username and password. Click on the service tab, select your data bundle option and click on the buy button. If you are a prepaid client, select your preferred payment method and follow the on-screen instructions. If you're a postpaid client, confirm your purchase by clicking on Pay with Account. The data bundle will be loaded to your account balance. Data bundles are valid for 30 days. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Yes, welcome back, guys. So now we'll go over to our correspondent Marizal, who is at the ECN headquarters. Hi, Marizal. How are you doing?
Oh, we're excited.
Jemima, can you hear her?
I can hear you, Marizal. What's happening there at the headquarters?
So I have with me Lina. Now, Lina is the Corporate Communications and Marketing Manager of the ECN. So I thought about getting her here today so she can just tell us more about the whole process. We had our results already. So maybe when we can expect the next slide and just your overall view of the election process thus far.
Basically, the polling station closed yesterday 9 o'clock in the evening. So there were still some few polling stations that were open until the last person were able to cast their vote. But then counting started immediately after that.
Yeah.
So what happened is that then the teams have been counting throughout the night, and the results started coming this morning. And once the counting, we then take the collation center, and from there it was sent from the region back to central election results, the data center here on the ECN East Wing. And what happens then is then the chairperson then has to sign off the result, and she has then to duly declare the result official. And that is what we had around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And you'll find that the results that she declared basically are the ones that are also on our mobile app, the ECN mobile app, as well as the ECN site for elections. And what's been happening as well, a lot of results has been coming in. So in the next hour or two, we will have the chairperson again back here live. She will be then sharing more of the results that has been coming through. And all that results then will also be loaded and it will be available for people to view.
Yeah. Where are we at this point in terms of our percentage of votes that have been declared, kind of roughly, if you can give us an idea?
It's difficult to say. As you can see, that we've got almost like 57.14% of the votes already declared. That has been officially declared. But if you look at it, that's the smaller constituencies results that has been declared. But we're still waiting for the big constituencies that have like over thousands of votes, like maybe 10, 15,000, 20,000. Those teams are, those constituencies are still outstanding. So we've only received the smaller constituencies results. But we're hoping then throughout the night and early tomorrow morning, more of the results will come in. The teams will be working throughout the night. They're working in first. And we're hoping that by tomorrow morning we'll have most of the results in, and that by tomorrow afternoon, hopefully, or early Saturday morning, we'll have the final results out.
Yes. What is your overall experience? Yes, Jemima.
Can you ask Linia, when do they expect, what is the anticipation, when can we expect the final results to be announced?
She just touched on that when the final vote will expect them. So it would either be then tomorrow afternoon, during the day, and then maybe Saturday morning latest, depending on how quickly they work through all the votes.
Yes. Because unfortunately, the teams that started with the election process from the 24th when they were dispatched to the different polling stations are still the same teams polling agents that are still in the same venue. So these teams were not able to go out at all. So they are still the same people that have to do the counting. So we really have to bear with them, but the teams are really trying their best. And we should have a big these figures coming in, results coming in this evening. And yeah, hopefully then we'll only have the bigger constituencies that will be then outstanding. And will hopefully come in tomorrow afternoon or maybe throughout Saturday morning or so. But we're hoping that by later Saturday we should have all the results.
Yeah. Jemima, anything else from you guys want to ask?
Yes, there are some parties I spoke to this morning. Well, in one particular party that wants a recount of a specific constituency. What is the feeling of political parties towards the results so far? Has there been any objections registered so far?
Marizal, can you hear us? Seems like we have lost Marizal. Hello, Marizal.
It looks like we have perhaps lost Marizal. So, Limba, what do you make of what Lina just said?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people were struggling with the time that they spent in the queues, I mean, all over the country. So with her saying that most of the final, the final results would be coming out later in the evening and maybe also early in the morning. It's quite, I think it's a positive for a lot of people. I mean, the voting process was fast, and that is what a lot of people want to see. Also, prior to this interview, we also spoke to our correspondent, to Yomo, who spoke about, you know, the ballot system, which ran very smoothly because it was, you know, not an electronic one like the presidential elections that took place. So all of these things, I think, is should be noted and applauded. You know, the fast process. Yeah.
Yes, it's really commendable that there's not that significant delay. Given the fact that some people were worried about the use of a pencil, I, for one, I was taken aback when I had to take a pencil. But yeah, I knew that. I have trust in the system, so I use my pencil. Yeah. But there are some people who insist on using a pen. But yeah, it's commendable that they have managed to get at least 50 constituencies official results out by lunch this afternoon. And as they are saying, some more results are expected to come through this evening as well. It would be interesting to see what it looks like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, with that, we'll take an ad break, and when we get back, we'll take you through more results of the local authority as well as the regional constituency results. So please do stay tuned.
Here's the story of a handsome subscriber with a sister, a friend and a mom who were always needing airtime. Our hero didn't have a clue, so he walked around for quite a while. Then he remembered Tamba from MTC. He dialed *682# and followed the prompts.
That's my son.
Choose another bundle and enter a number for him, her, or any crew member. And now he's the hero.
Thanks, bro.
Tamba, gifting Tamba. Tamba, gifting Tamba. With Tamba gifting, you everyone's hero.
Leap into limitless flexibility and convenience with the new and improved Paratus Client Portal. With just a few clicks, you can have personal control over your account and data packages through self-service solutions. You can top up data from anywhere, anytime, monitor your data usage, check your data and account balance, download your invoices, initiate support tickets, and much more. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, babe. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll free on 90111. MTC, make the connection.
Welcome back again. Now, speaking about the local election results, we have a voter turnout of 7,145 in Wolfish Bay. We have a turnout of 37.2. And if you look at the votes, you see SWAPO has 5,818, and with that, 8 seats, Jemima. We see RTP has 141 votes. We see UPM, nowhere to be seen. And so it continues with DDA having 565 votes. This is in Wolfish Bay alone. What are your thoughts on that?
It is once again a very concerning picture when it comes to voter turnout. You see an average of 37, 35%, even in Walvis Bay, where people have expressed great disappointment over service delivery. And it really makes you wonder, why is it that people are not keen on casting their vote? Yes, they are convinced enough to actually go and register. So I'm beginning to wonder there may be a disconnect between the voter education when it comes to registration as opposed to voter education to the responsibility to vote. Perhaps people are not yet as educated about their responsibility, or even what you would call, it's a privilege to vote at the end of the day, and every vote counts. We have seen it in several constituencies that there was just a very small margin for some parties to win.
Of course, Jemima. And also continuing, let's have a look at Swakopmund as well, with a total votes casted, which are 8,879, a turnout of 36.2%, with SWAPO again having 5,534 votes with 6 seats, RTP having 189 votes, and UTF also coming through with 1,168 votes. Nuto also managed to squeeze themselves in there with 296 votes and 1 seat. So if you look on the stats, you can see once again that in Swakopmund alone, SWAPO has many votes, Jemima.
Yeah, SWAPO has many votes, but it makes one wonder. SWAPO has been relatively untouched when it comes to, well, it has been affected by the phosphate issue. But to see that difference in voting for SWAPO, for IPC as opposed to SWAPO as they did in the past, it is interesting to see in it. I would really like to know what is the motivation behind that shift of the people of Swakopmund, who's been staunch SWAPO supporters. I went to school there.
Yeah.
So SWAPO's been like a religion in Swakopmund. And now you see them rapidly moving away from SWAPO to IPC. It's interesting to see that shift as well.
Of course. Now let's move up to Opuwo as well. we see that a lot of people up in Opuwo are not really, have not really been educated about voting and whatsoever not. But as you can see on the tab and on the screen as well, you see a total of 3,296 votes casted there in Opuwo, with SWAPO once again having 1,593 votes and 4 seats. You see RTP coming there with 44 votes, and as well as NUDO with 155 votes. You don't see IPC anywhere here.
Yeah, it is Opuwo PDM has taken back its power once again, well, PDM has really worked hard. It has put forward concerted efforts to get that constituency back. It has also been a stronghold of the former DTA in the past, but SWAPO took it in the previous elections, and it's interesting to see that people have fallen back. One really wonders why that is. It could be several things, but yeah, it's interesting to see that.
All right, now moving onwards, rather down south to Keetmanshoop. We have spoken about Keetmanshoop with Bernardus, having swept SWAPO off their feet down there. And if you look at the total votes casted there, you see that it's 3,289, with SWAPO having 2,337 votes with 5 seats. You see parties like UDF having no votes. You see DTA still having a part to play in the election with 538 votes with 1 seat. You see RTP with 189 votes. And so it continues, Jemima, with SWAPO once again in the local authority elections, having a stronghold in that area as well.
Yeah, this time around, yes, LPM has taken significant control there, but it is also interesting to see that shift from PDM, the former DTA, predecessor of PDM, has had very strong support in Keetmans. I mean, at one point they held the mayor position in that town, so it's interesting to see that leap from SWAPO directly to LPM, and you can see right after LPM is the IPC. It's interesting to see that instead of going to PDM, that used to be a former darling of the voters in that area, they jumped to these two other parties. So a number of issues obviously motivating this drastic change in voting.
Of course. Now, let's not forget small places like Khobabes as well, Jemima. People have turned out to vote. You see total votes cast 4,326, with SWAPO having 3,077 votes. You see RTP has 99 votes as well, with DTA once again coming to play with 682 votes. And so it continues with APP also having 143 votes. And Swanu also having 136 votes. So Swanu still has supporters there in Khobabes as well.
Yes, SWAPO has retained majority in Khobabes. Yes, it's interesting to see this. Khobabes has also been an area for NUDO. They haven't made significant inroads there this time around. It could be a number of issues. It could be the candidates that were put up this time around.
Oh, thank you so much, Jemima. So now we want to take a small ad break, and when we get back, we want to look at places like Korigas as well, and how the voter registration rather has and participation has gone with this election.
It's time to leap into limitless flexibility and convenience. To register on the new and improved client portal, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Click on register next to don't have an account. Click on register me with my to select your preferred registration option. Enter your personal details, select your preferred contact method, accept the terms and conditions, click on create account, complete your registration by entering the one-time PIN sent to your chosen contact method. You are now ready to take personal control of your account. To top up prepaid or postpaid data, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Log in with your username and password. Click on the service tab, select your data bundle option and click on the buy button. If you are a prepaid client, select your preferred payment method and follow the on-screen instructions. If you're a postpaid client, confirm your purchase by clicking on Pay with Account. The data bundle will be loaded to your account balance. Data bundles are valid for 30 days. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus. Some subscriber with a sister, a friend and a mom who are always needing airtime. Our hero didn't have a clue, so he walked around for quite a while. Then he remembered Tamba from MTC. He dialed *682# and followed the prompts.
That's my time.
Choose a data bundle and enter a number for him, her, or any crew member. And now he's the hero.
Thanks, bro.
Tamba, gifting Tamba. Tamba, gifting Tamba. With Tamba gifting, you everyone's hero.
Hey, so I'm practicing to beat my dad tonight, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's going to walk in here and win the whole game, but not tonight. Because thanks to Mom, I've got my secret weapon. It's Spectra Home Internet. So now, I don't miss any tutorials and I get to practice against other players online. You know, like actual masters and not amateurs. But don't tell Dad, because he is going down tonight.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, baby. Hi, Dad.
Now, who's ready to be beat?
With MTC Spectra, it's always game on. Experience faster upload and download speeds from 10 to 100 megabits per second at home, unlimited.
How did you do that?
Sign up today. Email us at spectra@mtc.com.na.
You ready to be beat?
Or dial toll-free on 90111.
This is Master Kawari Albert, the returning officer, officially gazetted by His Excellency the President, Hagakainko, to preside over election proceedings of Windhoek East.
Okay, and how did it go yesterday? Did it just take long? How long were you guys here?
Actually, these systems, the current system, the ballot system, seems a bit more faster. It's also more convenient, especially for the old age people, as compared to the previous VRP system that we are using.
So did you have two different lines for the seniors, or?
Yeah, actually we would normally have differential treatment for the old age people, and also for the pregnant women. Yeah, actually those are our people that gets a preferential treatment when it comes to voting. So normally what we demarcate them into two lines, and then we allow 3 old age and 3 young of the younger generation to pass and cast their vote. Now Windhoek is at 21 polling points, and I had 21 presiding officers presiding over those particular points, and I had a total of 168 ECN officials that were working with me. The process is not only defined by me from the commission, but also defined by the other role players, like the media, like the political party, and foreign observers. Yeah, they have deemed this particular process more transparent and also more democratic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My name is Mahnaimi. Ula is my surname. I work for NBC for the local radio Katin Kupura Bengiris for the Chuampo radio. As a journalist here at the ECN Center, I feel great. But then I feel ECN should change ways of giving information to the journalists. Recently, a few minutes ago, we just had the media briefing from the ASEAN, the first of its kind of this regional and local elections 2020. But then we couldn't go on air because no information were arranged. ASEAN want us to use the apps, but then the apps is not providing us with all the information that was shared during the meeting. Perhaps because our phones might not catch all the information as required. So I am therefore proposing if next time perhaps we can be educated more about this. What kind of phone should we use instead of using papers? It's a bit frustrating. You were ready, you were in the mood to give the result, but then you were a bit disappointed. Otherwise, ECN is doing a great job. It's just a matter of changing these few things.
Oh yeah, thank you guys for giving me another chance. I'm Axel Zempiamutse from Letabo Digital. As you can see, we're here at the ECN. We've been well accommodated. Yes, I can say that. And I would say there are some delays because it's elections, right? So there will be delays. Just waiting for 6 o'clock. Maybe we might have the final results. If not, maybe tomorrow. But hopefully, we think it's going to be tonight.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Just an apology. The results which we were giving you prior to the advert was that of 2015. We'd like to, however, take you through to the results of 2020, of course, looking at Wolfish Bay, with a registered voter turnout of 23,401. Total votes which were cast in Wolfish Bay is 11,814 with a turnout of 50.5%. Now, if you look at that little bracket there over there, you'll see that IPC has 5,043 votes with 4 seats. And SWAPO has 3,348 votes with 3 seats. LPM has 1,207 votes with 1 seat. Jemima, any thoughts? Any thoughts on that?
Limba, if you look at those results, very interesting journey ahead for SWAPO that has been relegated to only 3 seats. SWAPO has ruled this municipality for years, and now it falls just below the IPC that has the majority of local authority seats, 4 seats. SWAPO has 3 seats. The Landless People's Movement has 1 seat. The Popular Democratic Movement has 1 seat. It's interesting that people actually went to go out to vote for the PDM when PDM has endorsed Knowledge Ipinge as a candidate, and Knowledge has this morning conceded his power, his office to IPC candidate that has taken over the Walvis Bay rural constituency.
Of course, Jemima. Now, speaking about the coast, we look at Swakopmund as well. With a turnout of 10,557 votes, with a total of 9 seats and a turnout of 41.7%. Now, if you of course look at the screen, rather, you'll see that IPC has 3,458 votes with 3 seats. SWAPO has 2,745 votes and also with 3 seats. Maybe you can just tell us,
yes,
because it's towns that are close to each other.
Towns that are very close to each other and undoubtedly influence each other when it comes to voting patterns. IPC has 3 local authority seats on par with SWAPO that also has 3. LPM has 1 and PDM has 0 seats in Swakopmund. It would be interesting to see how this plays out. There's going to be a serious power play here between IPC and SWAPO that has reigned this town for years. So I anticipate a number of issues coming up before she has passed on. May her soul rest in peace. The LPM candidate in Keetmans Hoop Rural complained that she was stifled. I mean, she struggled to get support from the ruling party in terms of development. So there's been concerns raised that should local authority being taken over by opposition parties, that SWAPO may hold tightly on the purse and not and try and starve them and to frustrate them, and obviously make sure that they don't that development doesn't take place under their rule, and obviously frustrate their voters.
Of course, Jemima. And let's move on to Korigas as well, with 5,261 votes and with total seats. 5 total seats and 37.6% voters turnout. You see, IPC has 21 votes, SWAPO has 624 votes, and LPM has 261 votes. Any thoughts on that? Because remember, Jemima, prior to the elections, there was a video that was circulating with a lady refusing to vote when she was asked, saying that, you know, these political candidates are grasshoppers. This lady came from Korigas, you know, and if you look at the votes that came in, SWAPO has 624 votes. It's so less, Jemima, for such a population in Korigas.
Yes, SWAPO has been in charge of this local authority as well. But interestingly is to see the UDF. Now, the UDF is very closely aligned to the king, Justus Kharweb. And there's been a time that the community of Korigas in that area felt that the President Hage Geingob has shown very little or no respect to their king and has snubbed him on a number of occasions. And I believe this has probably and certainly played a role in how people voted here. They have 3 seats, more than that of SWAPO. So obviously UDF is ruling here. And it just goes to show that people remember what has been done to them.
Of course, of course. Now, if we look here, we have places like Okahanja which have also voted with 10,147 votes being casted there. We have IPC having 654 votes and 1 seat. You have SWAPO also having 1,865 votes and 3 seats. You see LPM having 377 votes with 1 seat, and UDF also coming through there with 290 votes and 1 seat. Your thinking process on this?
Limba, it is interesting to see that despite the vigorous campaigning in Okahanya LPM, the IPC, and even the PDM that has PDM has 0 seats, the LPM has 1, the same with the IPC. They really obviously struggled here to get some form of power. SWAPO has once again win here, and I think this is a community that really complained about service delivery. You remember Vijfrand Campus, the area where people complained about the flies, lack of sanitation and access to water. A community that has really shown an outrage at the level of services delivered there. But I think that what has shifted this community's way of approaching the polls is perhaps the fact that the governor has connected with them on like I've said earlier. The governor has been in Okahanya every other month. Recently, the new governor, he has spoken to these people, he has connected with them, and perhaps these people feel that even if he's still coming from SWAPO, that he will certainly bring change. And yes, he has certainly, in this small matter of time, he has given people title deeds. People who have for years cried to have just a piece of land to build their own house. They now really have title deeds.
Yeah.
And it's a huge thing for Namibia, where land is still a very big concern.
Yeah, not to cut you, Jemima, but moving forward, because we have so many areas to look at.
Yes.
Moving down to the south, I know we have spoken a lot about Keetmanshoop, but looking at the votes that have been casted there, we have 5,753 with 57.1% turnout. LPM in that area has 3,619 votes with 5 seats. We have SWAPO having 1,648 votes with 2 seats. Then you find IPC with 259 votes. Jemima, your thinking process, just briefly on what has happened in Keetmanshoop.
One thing before I go on is even though LPM has gotten overwhelming support in this particular area, the one thing that really stands out here is the low voter turnout. It's around 20%. And they still seem, this looks like a community that has that is torn between having given up and one that is really looking for a form of hope. It is interesting to see that the IPC didn't get any seat here, because even though they came behind LPM in the presidential elections last year, the IPC did relatively well in the Karas region last year. So it would also be interesting to see how this power play plays out in that municipality that is now dominated by the LPM, with just 2 seats for SWAPO. This has been a stronghold for SWAPO for a very, very long time. Bernardus himself was a SWAPO governor there. And for years, this community knew only SWAPO. Yes, there was a stint when PDM had their mayor there, but still, SWAPO was the alpha and omega there. So it would be, one would really want to see how, what is happening, how things will change around here, and even the level of development, how things will look around here. And yes, it's only them, the 2 of them, LPM and SWAPO.
Okay, I want us to also speak a little bit about Tsumeb, because the president of SWAPO comes from that area.
It's also your hometown.
Yes, in my hometown as well. Now, the votes of Tsumeb haven't come in, but here we see that 9,814 registered to vote. Obviously, later on, we can speak a little bit about, the percentages and so forth. So let's have a look at Otavi as well. There we see that 3,698 registered voters obviously registered to vote, but we don't have the results at the moment. And there's so much that you can look at, if you follow the elections.my.na website. If there's a specific town that you would, obviously, if you want to see the stats of that town, then you can just go to that website, and then you can see for yourself the standing of the votes at the moment. And with that, we'll just take a short break, and when we get back, we can give you more results of, as the results are coming in, more of that. And then soon after, we will also, just show you some of our video contributions, the best video contributions that people have obviously sent through and that we have also captured, our correspondents on the ground have captured. So please do stay tuned for that.
It's time to leap into limitless flexibility and convenience. To register on the new and improved client portal, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Click on register next to don't have an account. Click on register me with my to select your preferred registration option. Enter your personal details. Select your preferred contact method. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on create account. Complete your registration by entering the one-time PIN sent to your chosen contact method. You are now ready to take personal control of your account. To top up prepaid or postpaid data, visit our website and click on the portal login button. Log in with your username and password. Click on the service tab, select your data bundle option and click on the buy button. If you are a prepaid client, select your preferred payment method and follow the on-screen instructions. If you're a postpaid client, confirm your purchase by clicking on Pay with Account. The data bundle will be loaded to your account balance. Data bundles are valid for 30 days. Visit the Paratus Namibia website for more information or call the help desk on 083 300 1300.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Yes, of course. Welcome back, viewers. There's so many results to get through. If you'd like to look at a specific town, please do go to elections.my.na. You get all the figures as they have come through. Obviously, now we will give you, or rather just show you some contributions, best video contributions. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be live yet again from 8 o'clock in the morning. So please do tune in for that. And with that, from me, Limba, and my colleague, Jemima Bierkes, it was a very lovely day and a beautiful session. Please do tune in again tomorrow. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hoekom wil u stem?
Nee, ons wil stem. Miskien kry ons in stem wat ons nou moet stem. Denk ons almal ons stem laat ons kan verandering kry. En die iemand wat moet ons nou stem, hy moet vir ons opstaan. En ons soek werk.
Watse verandering soek u?
Ons wil hê ons jong mense moet werk kry. Want ons verandering moet wees daar ook hy moet skoon kom. En ons bly in Senghuis en ons het die krag, ons het ook die water nie. Soms as jy by die watertepe kom, is stikken.
Well, for the first time in 26 years, the residents of Walvis Bay are taking back their town.
Yes, definitely.
We are really seriously going to see change after this election. So it's just fitting that we dress for the occasion today.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see actually the current voters stand out, and it just shows that people are very serious, and it's for the first time that we see definitely all polling stations full to capacity when it comes to the regional and local authority elections. With that, it definitely tells you that the residents want to play a role, of which encourages actually what we call participatory democracy.
Is there
Exactly.
anything specific you want to see changed?
Mostly housing for the people, education that they have to establish university in Walvis Bay.
Yes.
And therefore also for job,
Mm-hmm.
things for people, and to be peaceful in our country.
Yeah, I just want to vote because I want the change. Yeah, I want those guys to make a difference because now it seems like that the previous councillors, they are doing nothing because we want, like in Walvis Bay, we want more land services.
Yes.
Yeah.
To develop our country, and I need the changes. You know, like us, we don't have a house. Like myself, I don't have a house. Why not government provided for us, for poor people? At least we give them maybe a portion or a plot. Myself, I can build. I can make a plan to build.
I want to vote because I want to help us to get the electricity and water because we struggle for water and electricity. If you go to bush, the problem,
If you go to bush, someone's go to get you there. She goes beat you or she goes make you. It's not good things.
It's very dangerous.
Yes.
Very wonderful experience today. The voting was very fast. I've been here for like 2 hours almost, plus minus, yeah. We share the shades together. It was so beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Here we go.
Our experience is good. It's been filled with love, hope, and wait, can we start that over? Love, hope, and happiness and laughter, as you can see.
As jy nie stem nie, daai het jy nie voorbeeld nie. Jy het niks om te sê nie. So ek stem, laat ek aan my mond opmaak en sê ek pas nog die dag daar so. Liewe moet vorentoe gaan. Ons het baie gesukkel.
My hope for these elections is that I would like to see that the young people of this country, the youth, should get employment because the youth are the leaders for tomorrow. And I hope that we can make a difference from them. Some of us, we are old now, we are pensioners, we are retired. We paved the way for them through the liberation struggle, so now it's time for them.
I'm at the Rundu Urban Community Hall polling station. Currently there's no vote. As you can see, polling officials, police are just relaxed. Nothing much is happening here. Let me just show you inside.